Everybody, as promised, here's another part to where the VIPKid curriculum is headed. Now, I'll probably have one more part after this with a new program that they want to put into place. So, if you haven't seen my other video, I'll put the link at the end. But just seeing where VIPKid is headed is so fascinating. So, this was at Las Vegas Journey, and the curriculum, the new kind of manager here in the US was the one presenting. And it was very, very interesting. So today we're going to talk about the assessment system. So you can see that they have different assessment types. There's, of course, a placement test done at the beginning. There's the unit tests, which we've all seen on lesson 6 and lesson 12. And these are formatives. And then there's diagnostic tests, which are summative and formative. And I'm going to point that out on the next slide, how those are different. And then something really cool that they mentioned, kind of quickly, they didn't go into too much detail, is that there's going to be a progress test. And this is under construction currently. So instead of having the placement test, well, it will be a placement test, but it's going to be a progress. It's going to be a smart program that picks up where they're at and will test them according to the skills that they're not showing. And so it will be a learning program, based on the student individually, because they were saying to currently have a full understanding of where the student is at, they'd have to give them like 100 question test. So this will be something that will learn from the questions that they answer and be able to change according to those answers and give us a better idea of where they're at. So very cool. Hopefully we'll hear more about that and see more about that later. And then also they have third-party tests, they bring people in to help them see how the assessment system is working and things like that. Now, this serves placement and progress and unit and diagnostic. All of these can help different lines and individual lines. And so they're hoping to get just the best idea of what's going on with our students, how their programs are working, how it needs to be changed. So they are constantly trying to figure out through assessment what is working best and change accordingly. Next, the skills that they measure are listening, grammar, vocabulary, phonics, reading, and then speaking and writing are automated. Now, I know that they want to bring writing more into the lessons because there's a lot of parents who their comment was, there's so many American kids who write English. Why are our students not writing more? So that will be interesting to see how they bring that in. So that's something else to be watching for. Um, and then others, they have assessment research, measuring learning efficiency, assessment beyond English language abilities. So there's just other things that they're trying to assess and look for and be able to meet the students' needs on. Now, there is one more slide that I'm going to go over today that goes over um, kind of the layout as it is currently and kind of how things hopefully they might change. So initially there's the placement test, which just as a plug, if you do a trial and they don't have a placement test, make sure to suggest it because it still is optional. We can't force the students to do it, or they can't force the students to do it, I guess. So currently you can see that there, of course, is levels 1 through 7, and you'll see this level 8 right here. Something else to look out for. It looks like level 8 will be coming, or at least is in the works. So very exciting, especially if you teach level 7 and your 7s are getting up there. There's going to be something coming. So that's exciting. Now, you can see within each level, of course, there are the units. Now, the interesting thing, which I guess I wasn't fully aware of, was that there are specific units that are the diagnostic tests or the diagnostic information. So this is really where they're saying, how are they doing on this whole unit? Do they need to go back? Do they need to be moved? Do they need to go ahead? So units 3, 6, 9, and 12 of every level are these diagnostic areas. So very interesting to know. And then, of course, we know within each unit there is the assessment on 6 and 12, which was pretty much, I think everybody knows that those are the assessment ones. But understanding these diagnostic test areas, uh, I mean, I don't know if it'll change the way you teach, but maybe you'll notice your students more so on that. So then you can write to the LPs. You can be really aware of what you're clicking at the end of. This student needs to move. This student needs to be higher, lower, whatever it is. And so in a level, if you're on these units, 3, 6, 9, 12, it'll be Who do we like besides ourselves? Sorry, soccer chant. Anywho, um, so maybe you'll remember it now. um, those are really important places for the students and for the LPs and for the parents to be looking at. Down here you can see that it just says progress test. That was just what we had discussed was in the works that they will be replacing the placement test with, that learning algorithm. So very cool things. So hopefully that gives you some insight into what's going on with the assessments, how they currently are working, and some of the things that are up ahead. So hopefully you're excited. I'm excited. The curriculum team is just so excited to try and make things as best as they can for the students and for the teachers and for the parents. And so they're working really hard. So I'll have one more video going into a new part of their curriculum that I will hopefully get out next week. But you guys are amazing. Here is the video from last time if you didn't catch the other curriculum changes. Hopefully, you guys have a great day.